Hey, welcome back to Let's Fix Something. Been a while since I kicked a video out, so I figured I'd bring you along a little project I got going on. If you guys remember, in my 1963 Arctic Cat 250 rear engine sled, the transmission was sketchy at best. Well, I found an alternative. Let me bring you along to see if I can stuff that thing onto this chassis. Roll the intro, and then we're gonna pitter patter and get to work. All right, so here it is. This is what comes in your kit. This is a Snow Dog transmission upgrade kit for the older units. The part number is 4498-9901-00. This thing is pretty cool. It's a double chain on the forward, a gear in the reverse. This is the shift lever. This is just putting spring tension on it. So what comes in the kit is obviously the gearbox assembly. It comes with a driven clutch, a motor plate. We'll get into that in a second. It's going to come with a brake system and its lever, a chain, which is metric. We'll get into that. A bunch of miscellaneous nuts, bolts, screws. Comes with a driven sprocket, and then the shift lever and cable. So all that's pretty cool. It all ends up as an output of an 11-tooth sprocket. The problem here is all of this is metric. It's a metric chain, a metric sprocket. I don't know what size it is. But what I need to get to is a number 50. So I picked up from Fleet Farm is a 12-tooth number 50 weldable sprocket. And so my brother's a machinist, and I'm going to have him mill this down, and we're going to weld that on, both of this sprocket and this one, so I got a backup. So anyways, that's going to be key to this project, is converting this to number 50 chain so I can hook into the Arctic Cat 250 number 50 sprocket as its driven sprocket. So more to follow, but that's the kit in a nutshell. All right, so I almost forgot. So if this was made, back in the 60s, obviously this would be all American stuff. And this would probably just be a keyed shaft, like a 1-inch keyed or a 3/4 keyed or 7/8 or something. But this is either some sort of a metric, spline. It's roughly an inch on the, on the OD. Instead of doing all that, I can just make the old Johnny Cash adapter kit by having this, off on a lathe, slide the new sprocket over the top, and weld that on. So that's going to be welded on, as this is designed. So again, we're just trying to adapt from this spline to a number 50. And again, this is all metric stuff. So rather than try and get a driven that's 1-inch American with a key and number 50, I'm just decided to go the other way with it and just make this my adapter to bring this to what I need. This one comes in the kit. It's useless to me, so I'll have this burned down on the lathe just to use it as well. So that's the key to this whole project, is getting this thing, to number 50 American chain. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the next question you're probably going to ask is, about this driven clutch. I have not taken it off the shaft yet. My hunch is that it's a keyed or some other, again, proprietary spline. I don't know yet. But for now, the plan is to just use it because it's, mated up with this thing. So here's a, Parts Unlimited 1039 belt, which is 1 3/16, which is the size I'm using now on my 250. So if I put this in here, you can see that it sits just a bit low on the sheaves. A guy could probably get away with a 1 1/4 belt, but I'm already using a 1 3/16 belt. That sits down the sheaves just a little bit, so that's okay. This 250 is only supposed to go, 20 miles an hour, so it's not that big a deal. But right now, my plan is to use a 1 3/16 belt. Length to be determined, but here's how that looks sitting in this driven clutch. It appears to be pretty well made. It's got, I don't think it has an adjustable spring. I'd have to kind of study this thing, but, we're just going to leave it right the way it is just to try it. So Anyways, that's all I got on this clutch for now. I may pop this off just to see what the output is and see if I want to use my old clutch. But for now, the plan is to use this thing. It's a little bit too big, and I'm probably not going to be able to use the original guard, which kind of sucks because it has a good look to it. But, you know, hey, progress. So anyways, that's all I got on this thing. I'm going to hop in here quick. Before anybody freaks out about originality, like that ship sailed when I built this thing. I used a transmission out of a like a 64 120D or something. And everybody I talked to says those things were not that good anyway. So I did make it work for a season, but it popped out of gear. It made funny noises. And without being a machinist with the ability to cut gears, to cut shafts, cut splines, this is off the shelf. Like, you can just buy this thing on eBay. You can buy it from any, you know, snow dog dealer, and it's a literally turnkey off the shelf option. There's nothing out there that does exactly what it's meant to do, which is be driven off of a, you know, a centrifugal belt and end up at a sprocket. So yeah, I know it's not the original transmission. There's none out there. So, all right, back to work. All right, so there it is. I didn't take you guys through the fit up of this thing because, you know, no matter what you do, whether you have a, you know, a K80, a K70, an Arctic Cat 170, another 250, you know, whatever, it's not going to be the same. So the key to all of this is the belt. So it's really hard to find belts in small increments when you kind of get up over 47 inches or so. I mean, they're real hit and miss, I'm saying. So this ended up being a TORO belt, but it's a 50 and 13/16. That set the transmission, you know, kind of where it wanted to be. I got real lucky that it, you know, it just kind of lined up with this rear, you know, beam here. Yes, I did use a freaking laser to line up my sprockets, but real happy with the initial, you know, kind of fit up of this thing. I got a lot of trimming to do, belt guard on this side, exhaust, you know, stuff like that. Deal with the chain length and everything, and tensioner. But right now, everything is drilled. I got some tabs to weld, things like that. But it's turning out great. Like, this thing fits like it was designed for the machine, the way I have the engine set, you know, all that. So this driven will take a 1 1/4 belt. I think that'll take a 1 1/4. I happened to find the right length belt that I needed to fit this thing up. So lots more work to go, but for now, pretty happy how it turned out. Bam. Here she is in her final mock-up. All the fit, cut, grind, weld, fabrication, all that's done. Most of my fingers are burnt, my back hurts, so it must mean job well done, maybe. I don't know. I just love how the sprocket side plate turned out with the guard. I got 5 bolts to the chassis. Everything just keeps going great. So next is paint all of this, you know, red, so it kind of matches the rest of the chassis. And then it's on the cables for the brake and for the shift. And then I got a bunch of other maintenance to do. So mint, onward. After 47 hours, 15 minutes of masking, things are looking pretty damn good. Darn near respectable. We got a little Rick Harvey antiquing to do to her yet, but we'll get there. All right, the key here Pro Man Harvey is take your shittiest can of, in this case, satin black, and just kind of give her a little, and when I say shitty, like it doesn't spray at all, but it takes that just sheen down, and it kind of distracts your eye, the fact that it's a brand new piece. So, you know, you just don't want to have the thing just bright as hell when you got a machine over there that's not bright as hell. So again, you can see the satin black just kind of spatters her up. Shittiest can of black you got. Mint. Everything turned out just great. All the painting's done, everything's reassembled, and I gotta work on my exhaust. The exhaust is gonna be just, you know, too close to the belt, and I won't be able to put a belt guard in. So I do want a guard on it, just to keep snow off it and everything else, but so that's gonna go, get kind of reconfigured, but I don't know, I'm pretty happy. The old man Harvey antiquing really kind of ties it all together nice. So yeah, pretty impressed with it so far. So hope you like it. A little bit more progress to go, and then I'll get the engine running and we'll get a video of it, you know, turning on the track. So stay tuned. Well, after mock-ups, fuck-ups, and everything else, more burnt fingers, I got the side done. So far so good. I'm going to put this in the brake at my work. Get a nice straight edge. But everything here worked mint. So all welded and ground and ready for the next bend. And then we're going to start forming that up. So progress. So the goal of the guard was to make it not look like, you know, just make it seamless, like it's supposed to be there. So it turned out great. When I painted it red, it really just popped and kind of blended with the machine. So couldn't be happier with it. All right, some of you guys might have been thinking about this question. You know, is the shifting or the controls for this. So this is obviously a cable stop, and that's going to hook to the lever for forward and reverse. Then over here, you got your brake caliper. Again, that's part of this kit. So up front, you know, the 63 had this as an option with the dual controls, but in the kit comes a brake lever. So basically that's my throttle, and then I got a brake just all in the same motion. I don't have to stop and, you know, grab something else. So this is going to be my shift lever to this cable. I just need to come up with a way to lock it into reverse, pull it back to go. So that's that detail there. You know, it does take away a little bit from the originality, but hey, I hope you guys like this transmission swap on my 63 Arctic Cat 250. It's a lot more work. It ended up being a lot more work than I had anticipated. Still have a little bit of work to go. One of the things I'm going to do this summer is remove the engine, remove the transmission, pull the power platform, flip it over. I want to look at the bearings on the front shaft. They really don't exist in this world, and the ones I got, I want to make sure that they're doing okay, the shaft is fine, stuff like that. Put everything back together, then I'll finish up the controls, a chain tensioner, and some other small things. So key to this project is to have your clutch on the left side. Remember that this is a double chain forward geared reverse, and the reverse is at about a 0.7 or so. So you can't have a machine with the clutch on the right side and then say, well, I'll just run this thing in, you know, gear to gear inside here in the reverse. So it doesn't really work like that. Again, it's designed to be, it's a chain drive, double chain drive on the forward. So, you know, whether you can adapt it to make it work where you flip your engine around so it's oriented like this, you know, up to you. But it was a solution for me when a transmission does not exist. It's not a money problem, they just don't exist. There's probably 60 of these that ever made in 63 and 64, you know, give or take. So they don't exactly have a lot of these laying on the shelf somewhere. So, hey, pitter patter, we got to work, got it done, pretty happy how it turned out. I'll probably do one more video, just kind of to wrap up with the controls and things, but for now, see you in the next one.